Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, YouTube friends. This watch strap is made for Richard, if I have that correct. Richard is a very good client, I've been informed. Richard is, I think that's his 7th strap from us, if I have this correct in my memory. Richard wanted this strap instead of brown in gray, and we don't have that, but then he chose black, so good choice, Richard. It's funny when I say Richard, because Richard is our client, but Richard is also my best friend. So I say that name quite often. Anyway, this is a beautiful watch strap in black. I'm glad it fell on that color. I want to say shade, because technically black is not a color. You can search in Google, why is black not a color, and maybe they're gonna give you a intelligent, or AI might give you a intelligent explanation. Anyway, this is a wonderful strap. It has this box here, and it is black. Usually we make it in brown. The buckle is slightly different than in the picture, because the suppliers, when they change the sign, there's nothing we can do about it. And he wanted this in a very unique size, Richard. A 19. This actually is demoed now. I demo this on a 19. This is a Daytona Paul Newman, for the ones that remember Paul Newman. That was his favorite watch. Not this one. Paul Newman's sold for over $1 million. This is a Daytona, but not Paul Newman's. Anyway, 19 lug. Naturally, we like to taper down because this makes a more elegant strap. So this would be an 18. And for the ones of you that know our straps, this is a Müller & Son strap, handmade, everything hand. And I also, when I demo this, don't put a lug bar in the strap, so I can manipulate this with one hand on my one-hand videos. The watch straps are out of Horween leather. That is one of the finest leather. Wikipedia will gladly fill you in on that as well. Made here in the United States. I'm in California. We make everything in California. And it has our contour cut, so up here it's more stout than it is down here. You might be able to see that. That is for comfort and other conveniences. I usually make it a point. Oh yeah, you know the size. Richard, of course, orders this for his wrist. And when we have the wrist size, let's just say a 7, then the center hole correlates with what I call the root hole, was the size 7, and this is an inch span, so naturally it would fit 6.5 to 7.5. These are typically 5 holes. I can on request add one, and it spans a little longer. But what I often love to point out is that leather, especially Horween leather, is a very nice organic material, and every cut, every watch strap is individual, because It has, let me see if I can even show you this here. It has a signature, a uniqueness. Every cut looks unique. And then, therefore, it's individual because of the organicness. Modern leathers, not Horween though, are often the last coat sprayed, so they look like plastic. It is crazy. When I say plastic, it looks like so uniform like plastic. Horween doesn't do that. That's why Horween Leather develops a patina. And then, furthermore, you combine this organic material with what I call the human element. A human, me, makes that. And then you have two variables on each product, which makes it highly unique. I'm an experienced craftsman and I can replicate my work, but not even a craftsman. And I say even because an artist absolutely can't duplicate its work. So you have unique in material and unique in making and in the production. I'm not a machine. A machine does probably 99% the same or even higher, and a human, this is the human element. When you go and buy artwork, that's, you spend big bucks on that. Otherwise, you can just get yourself a poster, printed for $8.99 in Taiwan, and when they're done adding the tariffs, then it's only $36, and everything looks exactly the same. But if you go out and want to buy yourself, and I don't want to compare myself to Van Gogh, but go ahead and try to buy one of those, you need $15 million. And what you get is a highly individual piece. Of course, you can also buy a print of that Van Gogh picture, but that's a different story of the story of so here we're looking at the watch strap that is made by hand and hopefully elevates your watch head. On the watch head you put it on, Richard requested this in 19. It's a very unique size. Normal is 18, 20, 22, for example. Now that's a beautiful watch. Unfortunately, this is not Paul Newman's, but it's beautiful nevertheless. So what else can I say about the watch strap? Not much. It lasts a long time, and it gets prettier over the years. The edges too, they don't come off like on some. They are dyed in, so they also develop a patina. This watch strap, as you can see, but maybe not noticed, is it has a slant cut. It's a unique feature as well, and it goes lovely with the vintage watches, but it goes surprisingly good with modern too. But anyway, thank you very much for watching, and have a good day. Müller and Son. We have about 6,000 transactions on eBay. Please like and subscribe. We have a website too, müllerandson.com. And if you have a question or a comment, please put it in the notes. Much appreciated, and your trust and support keeps our doors open and allows me to make what I can make since many years now. We also build watches, modify them, and sell watch parts. Müller & Son on eBay and müllerandson.com. Well, thank you again, and talk to you next time. Bye-bye.